Thanks to Rick Miller's new post, which is sure to interest you, we can already get an idea of what the update will be about. In fact, I'll say even more. It's going to be quite unusual, and in this video you'll learn all about it. Rick Miller recently posted an update not just on Twitter, but on Discord too. And along with that, he shared a really important announcement. Let's start with the Discord part. Hey everyone! Since both the game and our Discord are growing quickly, I wanted to give you a quick overview of where we are and where we're headed. If you're new to Dead Rails, it's a game created by me and Monkey. We're a small team, just the two of us. Besides developing the game, we also handle legal stuff, taxes, and coordination with Roblox. As you can imagine, that's a lot, and it's starting to wear me out. That's why I'm working on turning our group into a real business and bringing in more developers to help out. Ideally, the only thing you'll notice is that updates will come out faster and with fewer bugs. Also, I know some people are worried about big companies trying to buy Dead Rails. All I can say is they can try, but they'll have to pry it from my cold hands. Now, while this message might not seem super groundbreaking, it actually includes two really important pieces of news. First off, there's a studio called Big Games, a real company that buys up Roblox games. And yes, they actually made an offer for Dead Rails. We're talking a massive amount, hundreds of millions of Robux, which translates to a huge sum in real dollars. But here's the cool part, they didn't sell the game. Huge respect to them for that. That means Dead Rails is still being developed by Rick Miller and his partner. But that's not all, folks, we've got an even cooler second piece of news. Updates for Dead Rails will now be coming out more often. I think that's already pretty awesome. And the fact that they're planning to bring in more developers to work on the game, that's huge. From the looks of it, updates will probably be coming out once a week going forward. That's the current plan for the near future. That's some top-tier info right there. But now, let's move on to the next part. So, when's the update coming, and what exactly did Rick Miller post on Twitter? Well, guys, the update is scheduled for May 31st at 6:55 a.m. As usual. That's about 7 days after this video drops, so yep, exactly 1 week left until the update goes live in the morning. And yeah, this is Rick Miller we're talking about. I think we can all agree, waiting 1 more week is going to be pretty easy. Alright folks, here's Rick Miller's actual tweet. The update will be great. But have you already repaired your train? Pretty intriguing, right? That one line already gives us a hint about what the update might involve. If you remember, Rick had previously mentioned that new mechanics will be added in the next update. So this isn't coming out of nowhere. He's been giving us signs that something big is coming, possibly a whole new gameplay system. All in all, it's shaping up to be a major update. Let me say it one more time, you can see the screenshot right here. But seriously, guys, drop a comment. Have you repaired your train yet? At this point, all we can do is guess what's coming. Alright, let me throw out a few ideas, and some of them might surprise you. First off, we might start seeing random spawns. Not just new train stations, but also small buildings or repair outposts along the tracks. You won't be able to fix your train anywhere, you'll have to go to these spots. They might be small structures where you can grab tools like a wrench, then head back to your train to repair or cool it down. The main idea could be a full-on repair station being added to the game, and that sounds pretty likely. Point 2. What's point 2? Of course, it's train overheating. We've talked about this many times before. And honestly, guys, I'm expecting that now we'll actually get this overheating mechanic. So you'll either have to stop a bit sometimes or not just speed full throttle like everyone's used to doing without any consequences. Now you'll have to think. Maybe it's worth bringing an extra conductor this time. That way, you'll get there faster and more reliably, instead of just picking some overpowered class that everyone's used to. And just to remind you, there's a whole list of those. Like Milkman, Vampire, High Roller, and many more. So yeah, basically, there are tons of vampires and stuff like that, so you'll have to seriously consider, maybe it's better to bring one after all? Alright guys, I think it's time to lay all the cards on the table about this update. So, this is the new class we're talking about. In English, there are basically 2 words for the person who drives and takes care of a train. One is machinist, which is literally the person who operates the train. The other is engineer, who not only can drive the train but also repair and maintain it. There's also driver, but that's a more general term. It can mean someone driving a car or any vehicle. So, the new class will probably be something like an engineer or machinist, someone who both operates and takes care of the train. Honestly, that seems like a pretty obvious next step, since the game needs to get a bit more interesting. Plus, whenever a new mechanic like this is added, there's usually a new class to go along with it. We've got one more really interesting question to come back to. Just to remind you, this was around March 21st, so basically the end of April. It's been just over a month since then. So what do we see, folks? Train stations, they actually added 52% of them, and honestly, I was all for it. Okay, overall, that's good. From the whole list, the second most popular choice by a pretty big margin was new locations. Honestly, I'm not surprised because players want new locations, and that's totally true. But here's the good news. Everyone clearly understood that new locations will be added. The first step was adding these train stations, or whatever they're called, the train expansions. They added a class related to trains, the trains themselves. We saw all that in the game. It's already been added. So, the next step is a new location. What exactly it will be, that's up to them to decide. But here's the thing, guys, along with these new locations, we're probably also getting a small but really cool new mechanic. Long story short, there will be chests. And yeah, there have already been some leaks that seem pretty legit. For example, there's a chest that spawns near a house in a village. There are also chests filled with bonds. I think we're going to see 3 types of chests: small, medium, and large. The small chest will give you up to 10 bonds, no more. The medium one will give you up to 20 bonds. And the large chest can give you up to 30 bonds. But of course, how much you actually get will depend on a few things: RNG, luck, how fast you're playing, the mode you're in, and your average bond loot per match. So yeah, it's a super fun mechanic that I think a lot of people will enjoy. Makes it a little easier to grab bonds. But don't get too excited just yet. It won't be that easy. For example, small chests will only have about a 50% chance to spawn, and only in villages. That means you'll have to check every village you come across, and maybe only every second or third one will actually have a small chest. Medium chests will spawn randomly around the map, which means you'll need to stay in the game a bit longer to find them. Something the devs clearly want to keep players engaged. They could spawn near any place really, not just a basic village, but near a Tesla lab, a peaceful town, one of the castles, or whatever. So you'll just have to explore and hope you get lucky. There were a lot of facts in this video, guys, because I like to speak the language of facts only. Like I said, we had some real leaks from the devs, and some of it was just logical connections, starting from earlier polls and leading to the pretty reasonable leaks we've seen lately. And honestly, they seem legit. A dev doesn't just post stuff like that for no reason. What you saw in the thumbnail and in this video, that all means something. Remember, the developer dropped a pretty strong hint when he asked, "Have you repaired your train?" That says a lot. Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments. What are your theories? But the main point is, you've now heard everything you needed to hear and learned what you needed to know. So congrats on that. Wishing you all a productive day, a great Saturday, and as always, good luck and take care. See ya.